You can leave the stage. Huh? They just Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, sir,
Should
you
I
can you can
talk?
start sharing your screen.
Okay, just 1 second.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
Chelsea, I want to ensure that I share a video at the end. So, how should I do? I should stop presenting and share the screen then.
Sir, video, I don't think so. It will be audible.
Okay. Okay.
Richa, good to go. Yeah, welcome all. Like we have now Mr. Karan, CEO of the recycling company. He has received many awards for his contribution to the waste management scenario in India, including the Indian Leadership Award. He has played an active role in CII, TIE, and other global institutions. Karan is also a member of the Committee of Circular Economy in E-Waste by Niti Aayog, Government of India. Over to you, Mr. Karan.
Thank you, Chelsea, for such a kind introduction. And Chelsea just told me that there was a small lunch break. And the benefit of some of us sitting in our homes is after a lunch break, you can take a quick nap, keep the videos off, and enjoy that. So I think a lot, I'm sure there must have been a lot of data being shared today on car recycling, on the importance of car recycling, what is a material recovery. But to my mind, when we use the word recycling, I believe that the damage is already done. There is merit definitely in recycling end of life cars, but I come from a waste management background. So, like I mentioned, that when we talk about recycling and waste management, the damage is already done. So, I'm going to talk about a much larger topic, a much more macro view on the entire car supply chain. And I'm going to talk about the circular economy in car recycling. So, I'll take you through the entire process. And to begin with, that to discuss what does circular economy mean. So, for many years, and for all these years, we have had a very linear approach towards manufacturing. We make, we produce, we sell, it reaches the hands of consumer, and then the question of recycling comes. In a circular approach, a term that many of you must have heard a lot recently, and it's become quite a hot topic, and thankfully so, because that is the need of the hour. So to simply put, the circular economy is a model of production and consumption which involves sharing, leasing, reusing, repairing, refurbishing, recycling existing materials and products as long as possible. In this way, the life cycle of products is extended. So, this basically means that you are asking a question at each and every step of the value chain, right from the beginning till the end. You are not only talking about recycling, car recycling, you're also talking about how do I ensure that the entire gamut of things is looked on in a much more sustainable manner. Because, like I mentioned, once you talk about car recycling, the damage is already done. We are talking about end of life products. The car is already obsolete. The user has already used it for X number of years. Then you recycle it. But what if we look at this in totality? Then the effectiveness of car recycling and the last mile will be enhanced even more. So it is very important to look at this in a much more holistic way. Chelsea, I'm hope audible. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, thanks. So what are the key parameters is that the energy that you're using has to be less polluting than fossil fuels. You are reusing the materials at every stage. The residues are seen as valuable and not as scrap. To give you a very basic, to give you a very simple example, there is a Walt Disney park. Um, Now, the waste that has been generated from Disneyland is being given to an electricity company, waste to energy company. This waste to energy company will use this waste as a resource, generate the electricity, and then turn give back electricity to Disneyland. So you imagine that this is a circular approach. So this is just one of the example. We'll talk about a specific example related to the car industry as I proceed in the presentation. But this is what is a circular economy, where you are trying to question and when you are trying to relook at each and every aspect of manufacturing, and you're focusing on a product more from a more from a life cycle approach. So again, if you see, you are investing in infrastructure, you are encouraging recycling, you're developing markets for recycled material, you're designing better products, you're reducing water consumption, and you're looking at the last mile as well. Even in at the delivery of selling, like the entire sales model and the distribution model, how can it become even more and more eco-friendly and more sustainable? So like I mentioned that for all these years, we have looked at industries and we have looked at manufacturing and we have looked at the selling process in a very linear approach. We consume resources. So in the case of car, metals, plastic, everything that goes inside manufacturing a car is consumed in the cheapest possible manner, not necessarily thinking that whether it can be enhanced, whether there has to be a much longer view. The most cheapest resource that is available, of course, durability is very important when it comes to cars. Strength is very important. All those parameters are kept in mind. The production is done, consumption is done, and waste is generated. In a circular economy, is where you're trying to close a loop, where you're trying to question each and every aspect at this stage. How do I get my raw materials? What is the energy that I'm using? So in a linear economy versus a circular economy, in a circular economy, you're looking at each and every aspects and you're trying to bridge it and you're trying to put data in place to understand that how can carbon emissions be reduced, how can sustainability be achieved. So I'm sure a lot of my speakers who have come before me must have talked about the opportunity in vehicle scrapping and how it is also need of the hour, because when we talk about a country like us, there are close to 28 million old vehicles already and expected by 2025. And as we consume more, there it's a, I mean we'll soon become one of the largest automobile the consumer company. And as we move towards that phase, the generation of old cars and the question of recycling will be there, because there is a lot of pressure on there's a lot of pressure on extraction of new resources. Recycling of course makes a lot more commercial sense. Again, to put a few things in perspective, India is the fourth largest producer of automobile. So with the car recycling coming in, it is also very important to lay focus on the manufacturing of cars. What are the resources being consumed at each and every stage? Because if we are talking about such a large industry to evolve, it is also very important, like I said, to look at the entire circularity of it, because without all the components being in place, the last mile will not be achieved. An estimated 1.2 billion excess tons of carbon emissions are produced in North America. So car industry, also automobile industry, the kind of impact it has on the environment and humanity at large is very big, because it consolidated. It's one of the largest industries that we see today. There are millions of auto ancillaries. There are millions of parts that go into it. Every part has a story. When we talk about headlights, when we talk about steering, when we talk about seat covers, when we talk about the glass being done, every product has a life cycle. And if as a manufacturer and if as a society as a whole we try to understand that how can we achieve sustainability and how can we reduce carbon emission and each and every stage, then very soon the entire loop will get, car recycling will become a lot more efficient. The more I in fact I have a fantastic example as we proceed, that how it has been achieved and one of the leading global manufacturers is achieving it. And like I mentioned, that circular economy approaches can help the automobile industry to reduce the life cycle carbon emission up to 75%. So now how can circularity be achieved? So like we discussed and like I mentioned, that there are so many critical components that go into manufacturing a car, that at each and every stage a question can be asked, that can this be procured in a better manner? So if I so say for example, if there's a company that is making electric vehicle, great, that is the need of the hour. The consumption of fossil fuels and diesel petrol will go down. However, if the manufacturing process of make manufacturing an electric vehicle is not sustainable, then the impact is lesser. However, if, because say for example, if a company's manufacturing facility is using processes that gives out a lot of carbon emission and then giving out an end product which is an electric vehicle, there you can see a big mismatch. You can see somewhere that you're using unclean resources to come up with a clean product. However, if there is parameters being put and checklist checks being put at each and every stage, then not only the final product but the entire process becomes green. So how can circularity be achieved? Not in the car scenario, is that raw material management. You're using energy efficient technologies and ethical extraction of raw materials. How is the material being procured? Even so, if you're a car manufacturer, how have the tires, if you're using a particular type of tires, how have the tires been manufactured? What is the kind of water being consumed at the factory? What is the kind of energy that has been consumed in the factory? Can that be reduced? Can I try to ensure that in some way or the other there is less amount of resources being consumed? Is recycling a better option? In fact, many years back, iPhone was being criticized because the first few models of iPhone, when they came out, they made it in such a manner that it was an intact phone, so that not many people could open it. Now that created a lot of problem on the recycling end. So by design, products can be made that recycling becomes a lot easier. Sustainable materials, creation of materials that are sustainable and have low environment impact. The steering is made of a certain material, car seats are made of a certain material, the body is made of a certain material. How can I use metals, plastics and different commodities in a manner that that is a substitute more from an angle of sustainability? And you will be surprised that many companies who have adopted this approach in the last 10 years have seen the benefit, because not only the costs are reduced but their life cycle of products has also increased. Waste is no longer waste, it is a resource. Because as we know, see, this environment, the amount of resources available are limited. We are forced to look at alternatives. However, the waste being generated, if it can be taken back into the circular loop, then it becomes a resource again. A lot of effort has to be done to ensure that there is a take back program, it is being taken, and which is where car recycling is getting its due right now, because we understand that there is so much of resources in old cars and it has to be recycled and taken back into the system. And the product life extension, this will automatically ensure that the product life cycle is ensured by effective management system. The brand loyalty grows up. In there are a lot of models outside of India that have been launched. Renault Zoe is one example. You take pride in using a green car. You know that the material that has been used is recycled. There is, I think the communication between the automobile manufacturer and the consumer also will start increasing a lot more, and it is not just a sale and percent transaction. And I'm sure a lot of speakers today in the session must have spoken about the benefit of car recycling. But again, another fact is the economic benefit is more than 1 trillion in year in material savings alone. Not only of the last product of the car that has been used and it's come for recycling, but also if applied in the entire supply chain. So one of the fantastic examples and one of the very first companies who started this was Jaguar, and they came up with one particular model was the Model XC, and they started using 75% recycled aluminium. Now, see, to achieve this, first is design. Can I design my product in such a manner that I can use something that is recycled, that is eco-friendly, that can be taken in the system without compromising on the quality? Jaguar, of course, is a premium brand. I'm sure they must have done in-depth study. Now, because also aluminum is a lot lighter than other metals, automatically the fuel efficiency and other things also get impacted. So JLR currently uses 180 tons of aluminum per year. This is a small fraction uh, of the 80 million tons produced globally every year. It is already one of the most widely recycled materials, with 70% of all aluminum ever produced still in circulation. So this is how a company can achieve circularity in totality, where you're looking at each and every component. In fact, another fantastic example in the car space has been Renault. Renault has done some fantastic work. They also call it refactory. In fact, I'll just check if I can show you a great video where circularity, recycling, and the entire exchange program can be taken on a particular aspect as well, like how it can be achieved. But with Zoe, 22.5 kg recycled synthetic materials are used, 17.5 kg is recycled plastic, 3.3 kg is textile, and then 1.7 kg is non-fabric. This is an electric car. At the same time, the material that goes in manufacturing this is also recyclable. So it's a win-win situation, and this is one company that has clearly proven that car recycling, sustainability, etc., can be achieved end to end, and not only at one part of it. So I'll just talk about this a section of the recycling part that I was saying. So as you know that electric vehicles use lithium ion batteries, and that is a trend now. As more and more, the entire process of making lithium ion batteries is also becoming more sophisticated. How do you make it lighter? How do you pack more power in it? What Renault does is, Renault does not sell its car. Okay, it has a model in where what we do, they lease the car. It's not in India, but they lease the car. Once you are done, the battery comes back, and then the battery is again checked and reused. So this is another way in which the life cycle of a particular product is extended, thus ensuring that there is less pressure on new materials and environment. Yeah. Chelsea, can I share a video here?
Yes, sir. Try sharing. I'm not sure
Sure.
whether it will be audible.
Okay, sure. So maybe even if I can share a little glimpse of it, I'll see.
Yeah, fine.
Okay, is my screen visible, everyone? Is my screen visible?
No, sir, it's not visible. Yeah, now it's visible.
Okay. So I'm just sharing this. Maybe let's see if any bit of video comes out.
Yeah, it's audible.
L'économie circulaire, c'est imaginer qu'un produit ou ses composants puissent avoir plusieurs vies. Renault est engagé dans ce domaine pour le respect de l'environnement. Pour les batteries de ces véhicules électriques, c'est l'ensemble de leur cycle de vie jusqu'à leur recyclage qui est pris en compte. Une démarche facilitée par le fait que Renault reste propriétaire de la majorité des batteries en les louant à ses clients. Le taux de collecte est ainsi supérieur à celui qui se pratique pour les piles et batteries de téléphone ou d'ordinateur portable. Lorsque les batteries ne sont plus assez performantes pour une utilisation automobile, de l'ordre de 70% de leur capacité d'origine, elles sont encore très utiles. En fonction de leur état, Renault décide de les réemployer dans un autre environnement, de réutiliser certains de leurs composants ou de les recycler. Une seconde vie de la batterie peut alors démarrer au travers d'usages hors automobile comme le stockage d'énergie.
Nous avons développé un partenariat avec Renault, Nissan et Bouygues Energy Service. L'idée, c'est de réutiliser des batteries pour leur donner une deuxième vie une fois qu'elles ont perdu 30% de leur capacité. Donc, ce qu'on va faire, c'est qu'on va récupérer la batterie et l'installer sur un système comme celui-ci pour répondre à des besoins en énergie pour le bâtiment. Par exemple, un panneau solaire photovoltaïque, quand on a un nuage qui passe dessus, on passe d'une production à 100% à une production à 20%. Grâce au système de stockage, on va pouvoir délivrer de l'énergie pendant cette chute brutale de production d'énergie et on va pouvoir adapter notre courbe de consommation des panneaux photovoltaïques à la courbe de consommation du bâtiment.
Lorsqu'elles arrivent en fin de vie, Renault dirige les batteries vers des filières de recyclage et de réutilisation des matières auprès d'industriels certifiés comme Veolia.
Ce site sur lequel nous nous trouvons aujourd'hui a mis en œuvre le développement de solutions pour le recyclage, des nouvelles technologies de piles accumulateurs, les lithium-ion, par exemple, qu'on peut avoir dans les téléphones portables, les nickel-cadmium, les nickel-métallurure, et puis le recyclage des batteries issues des véhicules électriques. On va y trouver des métaux stratégiques comme le cobalt, le nickel, le cuivre. On va y trouver du manganèse. On va y trouver des solvants. On va y trouver de l'aluminium. On va y trouver bien évidemment du lithium. Très peu, moins de 1% de lithium dans une batterie de véhicule électrique. L'objectif ici va consister à pouvoir recycler la quasi-totalité des éléments contenus au sein de cette batterie. Le recyclage proprement dit de la batterie nécessite 5 grandes étapes. Une première étape va consister à mettre en sécurité la batterie et pour ce faire de décharger totalement cette batterie. La deuxième étape va consister à démanteler la batterie de manière à pouvoir atteindre la partie interne de cette batterie constituée de modules. La troisième étape du procédé consiste à découper les modules de manière à en extraire les cellules. La quatrième étape est une étape de broyage qui va consister à rendre accessibles les métaux qui constituent la batterie. On va y retrouver le nickel, le cobalt, le cuivre et puis une fraction de lithium aussi. La cinquième et dernière étape est une étape hydrométallurgique. Cette opération va permettre dans un premier temps d'extraire par voie chimique les métaux et puis ensuite de les récupérer de manière sélective, relativement pure, pour obtenir différents coproduits métalliques, différentes matières premières secondaires qui vont pouvoir être ainsi réintroduits dans les processus de transformation et de fabrication. Après plusieurs années de développement en partenariat avec Renault, l'enjeu est évidemment environnemental. Il est essentiel qu'il y ait ce type de solutions qui permettent de garantir le recyclage des batteries.
Au-delà de la batterie du véhicule électrique, ce sont plus de 30% des matériaux présents dans un véhicule de la gamme Renault, tels que les aciers, les plastiques, le cuivre et l'aluminium, qui sont issus du recyclage, pour un bénéfice écologique et économique.
We can now start with the Q&A session.
Yeah.
So, Karan Thakkar sir will be answering the questions. You can post your questions in the question box.
Was a video or audio audible of the video, Chelsea?
Yeah, it was audible.
Okay, great, lovely.
Yeah. You can start posting your questions in the question box. We've got the first question from Devashish Suara. He has asked, can lithium polymer batteries be used in vehicles?
So, in fact, what we see of electric vehicles is just the beginning. I see that tremendous changes happening in the way batteries are made and the way batteries are being built. Like Tesla, the reason it is Tesla is because the cost per watt, the way they manufacture the battery packs is one of the most unique. That gives them a tremendous advantage. So yes, I mean we will see some. I think the entire process of lithium-ion battery making and also recycling as a process to ensure that, like you said, I think Renault as a company is taking a lead to ensure that the batteries are taken back, recycled, and the resources have been extracted. I think we'll see tremendous changes. The weight per batteries, the power that is packed, material being used, everything will change.
You all can post the questions in the question box. Thank you so much, Karan Thakkar sir, for
Thank
being a
you.
part of our session. We
Thank
were
you.
pleased to have you here.
Thank you so much.
We look for your connection in further events as well.
Thank you for having me. Best wishes to all of you and all the attendees. Thank you.
The session ends here. We will start with the next session soon.